This story happened a couple of years ago when I was a freshman in high school. I remember me and my buddy Jay would go play Nicky Nine Door, otherwise known as Ding Dong Ditch, which was a game where you would go to a random person's door and knock while running away before it got answered. Me and Jay loved to do this kind of thing, especially on Friday nights when the school week was over. We were the modern-day little rascals, looking to get a kick out of seeing any adults become annoyed by our childish antics. One day, during gym class, me and Jay sat on the bleachers while collectively discussing what potential houses we could prey on next. That's when Jay suggested our school janitor, Mr. G, as he casually mopped the side of the gym floor in front of us. "Dude, let's hit his house tonight. Apparently his house is notorious for being nine-doored all the time." "I don't think that's a good idea, dude. Didn't you hear his daughter died?" "Oh yeah. Poor little thing was getting teased too much for having pet squirrels." "Pet squirrels?" "Yeah, she was the laughingstock of the school because it was rumored that Mr. G collected squirrels and brought them home just so his daughter could have some pets." "Really? That's weird." "What in the hell are you two idiots looking at?" "Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't be talking about my daughter, or any of my business, before I dump this dirty mop water on your heads." That's when Mr. G strolled away with his mop bucket, while me and Jay looked at each other and thought to ourselves that his house would be the perfect stakeout for Ding Dong Ditch later that night. A couple hours later, me and Jay would play Mortal Kombat Armageddon on my PlayStation 2, till it was dark enough to go outside and pay Mr. G's house a visit. As we walked down the neighborhood, Jay pointed out Mr. G's house, which was about 2 houses down from where we were standing. We played rock, paper, scissors to decide who was going to be the Ding Dong Ditcher, and, of course, as fate would have it, I lost with scissors, while Jay held rock. I casually approached Mr. G's porch without making it obvious to any potential onlooking neighbors that we were doing anything suspicious. As I slowly began to raise my balled-up fist to knock the door, it abruptly swang open, with Mr. G holding a large baseball bat, saying, "I'm gonna kill you and make you eat my crap, you little squirms!" That's when me and Jay made a dash for it, and began to run for our lives while Mr. G chased us with a baseball bat in one hand and a long piece of rope in the other. "Stop running away, you little punks! You all wanted smoke, didn't you? Didn't you?" I remember looking back for a split second and could see the crazed look in Mr. G's eyes, almost like he had been anticipating that someone would Nicky Nine Door his house again. As Jay and I glanced to our right, we unhesitatingly made a swift turn towards the direction of a large fence with a hole in it, which led to a forest preserve with a warning sign that said, "Danger, do not go beyond this point." We both disregarded the sign and quickly ran through the hole in the fence while trying to not slip on any branches or tree bark piled along the trail. It was about 30 seconds into the forest where I found myself hiding behind a large tree, while Jay was hiding behind one across from me. That's when I crouched down as I heard the footsteps of Mr. G stopping mid-trail, almost as if he knew we were within his parameters. I clasped both my hands over my mouth and began to pray in my head that he wouldn't approach either of us. "Stupid kids. If I ever see you again, I'm gonna rip both of your heads off and feed them to my squirrels. You hear me? I know you little pieces of crap are the reason why my daughter is dead. I just know it. I know you two picked on her at school. Am I right? I swear to God, if I ever see you come by my house again, I will turn both of you to my kids. I'm lonely. I just need another child. And you pricks took everything away from me." That's when I heard him slowly exit the woods, as his footsteps became more faint along the way. Me and Jay were so shaken up to the point where we remained hidden behind our respective trees for about a good 10 minutes before we thought it was safe enough to head back on the trail. "I think the coast is clear." Dude, this is the last time I'm ever doing this. You think? How in the hell do we get home now? That's when me and Jay had to decide what our next move was. The issue was getting home, as we knew the only way out was through the hole in the fence. We obviously didn't want to run into the risk of encountering Mr. G again, so we both mutually agreed to go the opposite direction and find an alternative way home through the forest preserve. As we got deeper into the forest, I can recall stepping on a gooey substance, almost like it was a dead cat of some sort. Jay pulled out his cell phone and flashed his light towards my shoes, only to see a dead squirrel soaking in a puddle of its own blood. What the hell? Looks like a bear ate it. Dude, that looks gnarly. Jay then picked up the mutilated squirrel by its tail and asked me to take a picture of him with his cell phone. You're freaking sick, dude. He then dropped the dead squirrel on the ground, and we proceeded to head further into the trail. That's when we saw about a dozen mutilated squirrels scattered along the pathway. What the hell? Dude, we have to go back. Jay? I began to glance at Jay as he looked at me with a gaunt and horrific expression on his face. That's when I realized that he wasn't looking at me. He was looking behind me as he pointed past me with his trembling finger. I turned my head to look behind me, only to see a little girl sitting a couple of meters away from us, having a picnic by herself. As I squinted my eyes, I could see her chewing on a dead squirrel, as she then looks at our direction and said,
"Please bring me home to my daddy. I want him to know that I don't want to have a pet squirrel anymore."
That's when me and Jay ran back towards the direction of where we came from, as we couldn't believe what we had just witnessed. As we made it through the hole in the fence, we continuously ran through the neighborhood past Mr. G's house until we both made it home in our respective houses. I couldn't believe what I had just seen, as the thought of a little girl having a picnic in the middle of the forest while eating squirrels still gives me chills just thinking about it. What happened next was something I could not fathom or give any proper explanation towards. Jay ends up sending me a text and then immediately calls me. Hello? Hey dude, look what I just sent you. That's when I opened Jay's unread message, only to see the picture I had taken of him while he was holding the mutilated squirrel. Except, I can see the same girl from the picnic standing from a distance behind Jay. She was holding a dead squirrel as well, while replicating the same pose he was in. It's been a while since that incident occurred. I've been seeing a psychiatrist since, as a mental anguish from getting chased down the block with a baseball bat and witnessing what seemed to be the deceased spirit of Mr. G's daughter is something that still terrifies me to this day.